Milwaukee announced new tools.
So did DeWALT, Harbor Freight, RIDGID, and more.
We've got circ saws, job site radios, special screwdrivers, demo hammers, brad nailers, cement mixers, and more.
Plus another platinum tool deal from Ohio Power Tool.
This is the Tool Show.
Welcome back, Tool fans. I'm Sarah, this is Rob, and it is officially only 6 days until Milwaukee's Pipeline. Rob and I are going to be there live at noon Eastern Time on Thursday the 27th with all of the new Milwaukee tools. So mark your calendars now and plan on a long lunch.
Before we get to the tool news, we have some news of our own about our tool testing series, Tool List. Now, Sarah and I launched this 4 weeks ago with our first two drills, the DeWALT DCD 991 and the Milwaukee 2903. And we shared a short for each tool on Instagram and TikTok, and of course our long form episode here on the Tool Show. Now, we planned to test 2 new drills each week, but this guy gave us some problems.
The flex was too powerful.
We put the flex on our drill climb, and this happened.
While that was a bummer, Rob here immediately got to work designing Drill Climb 2.0, and this week we got back to testing.
We just wrapped testing on the Flex and the Bosch. And next week we'll be testing the Hercules and the Hilti. Now, we plan to test the tool and then give it away to a random production crew member.
But our friends at TCC told us that that was insane, and they are right.
Really right. We need to keep these tools so we can retest them whenever our process changes, like it just did with our brand new rig. So instead, we've been asking the tool manufacturers to give us examples that we can give away to our production crew to thank them for supporting us.
So in the next 3 weeks, we'll be giving away a new drill from Milwaukee, Hercules, Hilti, Flex, and more. To be eligible, you must be a production crew channel member here on YouTube or join our Patreon. Both are the same price, but we prefer Patreon simply because they pass more of the funds on to us than YouTube does.
We're also going to be posting regular behind-the-scenes tool list videos on Patreon, so you'll be the first to know what we're testing and how we're doing it.
And get a shot at winning your own version of the tools that we test.
Yeah, we'll have links below. Huge thanks to our production crew for continuing to support us. We couldn't do it without you.
On to the tool news, starting with RIDGID, who announced the all-new 18-volt brushless 15-gauge angled finish nailer. Its aim is to be powerful but compact, claiming to be the industry's lightest weight cordless 15-gauge angle finish nailer. It can drive 3 nails per second with 0 ramp-up time and up to 1,425 nails per charge with a 4 amp-hour max output battery. It's equipped with their clean drive technology, which allows it to drive nails flush at any angle, reduces jams, eliminates MDF trim blowouts, and doesn't leave driver blade marks on the work surface. It can be set to single sequential driving or contact actuation. It can drive from 1 1/4 inch up to 2 1/2 inch nails, and it has an easy to reach depth of drive dial so you can better control your work. You'll be able to get your hands on the new RIDGID this August for $299 bare or $359 in a 2 amp-hour kit.
This week, Harbor Freight is highlighting their new Bauer 20-volt brushless, cordless, 1/2 inch high torque impact wrench, which recently launched. It features a solid 650 foot-pounds of fastening torque and a crazy 1,000 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. It has a bright LED work light, 3 speeds, and it comes with a 5 amp-hour battery and charger for only $159.99. They also launched a brand new Black Widow Pro Airbrush compressor kit. It features a 1/5 horsepower motor, external moisture filter, large 2-liter tank for consistent spray pressure, auto shut-off, and a zero-maintenance oilless piston motor. At only 62 decibels, you won't be distracted by the noise while you're focusing on your work. And at only $200, you'll save hundreds of dollars compared to competitors. You can pick either one of these up today at your local Harbor Freight retail store.
DeWALT announced major changes to their XR lineup and launched their first tabless battery. This news gets a bit messy, so bear with me and we'll get through this together. First of all, let's look at the new battery. The DeWALT XR Power Pack 8 amp-hour battery uses tabless cells to deliver 50% more power and longer run times. Cool. By adding this technology, DeWALT now joins the likes of RIDGID, Ryobi, and of course Milwaukee, who has the new tabless cell M18 Forge battery right around the corner. Bosch and Makita have also launched tabless cell batteries, but haven't brought them to the States yet. But the bigger change comes in DeWALT's branding for both their batteries and tools. The XR branding has been used by DeWALT for a long time to identify their higher capacity batteries. But now it will be used to differentiate between normal DeWALT batteries and the more powerful Power Stack and the new Power Pack. Still with me? If you want the most power from DeWALT, You can get either an XR power stack with pouch cells in 1.7 or 5 amp hour, or an XR power pack with tabless cells in 8 amp hour capacity. Cool. The rest of their 20-volt max batteries with standard cells will lose the XR branding and become just DeWALT 20-volt max. So far, I think this is a good change. If you want more power, upgrade to XR. But it's all further complicated by updates to their tools. The DeWALT FlexVolt Advantage and Power Detect tools can all take advantage of more power, which they access by using FlexVolt batteries. FlexVolt is a line of DeWALT batteries that can switch between 20-volt and 60-volt configurations depending on the tool. Even more confusing was that these technologies were exclusive to certain stores because who knows why? I'm guessing executives at the big box stores had big feelings and DeWALT was doing their best to try to get them to all calm down. It's okay, you're all special, guys. These two similar technologies are going to be rebranded to just XR, which will become the name for any DeWALT tool that can take advantage of the new XR batteries. And to help drive this home, DeWALT officially announced new XR series tools, including the DCD 1007 20-volt max XR half-inch hammer drill, the DCF 860 20-volt max XR 3-speed high-torque quarter-inch impact driver, and their new DCW 620 20-volt max 2¼ horsepower dedicated plunge router. So while there's a lot of news here and plenty of detail, here's the headline. Moving forward, DeWALT 20-volt max tools are either normal or XR. Their batteries will be available in normal or XR. If you pair up an XR tool with an XR battery, the heavens open, extra power is unleashed, and good times are had by all. Honestly, the DeWALT lineup has been unnecessarily confusing for such a long time, and this new setup is way easier to understand no matter where you buy your DeWALT tools. Of course, this means during the transition, the DeWALT shelf at your local box store is going to be even a bigger mess, but eventually, it should be better. Let me know in the comments if you think this was a good change for DeWALT and if Lowe's or Home Depot has any chance at all at educating their employees effectively enough to get through this. The answer is no. No, they don't.
And finally, with Pipeline just days away, Milwaukee still wasn't done making some final announcements before the big show. First up is the new 3311 M18 fuel overhead rotary hammer with integrated dust extraction. Now, Sarah and I first got a chance to try this drill at NECA last year, and it's finally on its way. It boasts 1.7 foot-pounds of impact energy, 1,310 RPM, 4740 BPM, and thanks to that integrated dust extractor, it's even OSHA Table 1 compliant. You'll finally be able to pick one up for yourself next month at a cost of $5.99 in a kit with a pair of high-output 3 amp hour batteries, charger, and 3 replacement dust tubes.
Milwaukee also announced upcoming additions to their fall gear lineup, including this gridiron full zip hoodie in gray, blue, or black for $64.99, and this gridiron flannel shirt in gray, red, or blue for $59.99. They also announced several new additions to their test and measurement tools, including the circuit breaker finder with LED, a GFCI receptacle tester, a digital GFCI receptacle tester, a non-contact voltage detector with laser infrared thermometer, and a dual range voltage detector as well. All of these will be available next month.
Moving on to our favorite tool videos of the week, starting off with Mark Thomas Builder, who's using the new Gen 2 Milwaukee M12 Fuel 5 3/8 inch circular saw and claims to have 25% more power and runtime. We finally got to try this tiny powerhouse at World Concrete, and I'm telling you right now, this thing is no joke. But you don't need to take my word for it, as Mark does a great job of walking you through all of the parts, features, he puts it to work, and he even tries storing it in various pack-out boxes so you can plan not only how you'll use it, but how you'll store it as well.
Ryobi announced their new OnePlus 18-volt Verse Link Bluetooth speaker last week, and we were blessed with a plethora of reviews shortly after, including Tim Johnson at Shop Tool Reviews, Clint at Tool Review Zone, and even Mark Thomas at Mark Thomas Builder. They all have great things to say about the radio, and we still can't get over the idea of hooking one up to 100 other Ryobi Verse clamp radios, but at current prices, you'd have to spend like $6,000 just to try it. Or you could just call Ryobi and ask if we can make a 100 plus speaker video together.
You called them, didn't you?
Yep, I did.
And now we're going to...
We're going to do it.
All right, honestly not mad, that should be pretty insane. Tools Tested is looking at torque screwdrivers, which is the first time I've seen this done on the tubes. And in his typical fashion, he went way overboard on the testing, which is exactly how we like it. As in, he's cycling these 1,000 times each to see if their accuracy changes. If you need a torque screwdriver, definitely watch this video first.
Did you know that power tool flashlights are dirty hot garbage? Well, after watching the Torque Test Channel's test, I'm convinced they just might be. I mean, Ryobi's flashlight is rated at only 280 lumens. My sparkling personality puts out more lumens than that.
Oh, what are you talking about? Your soul absorbs light, admit it. Tools and Stuff is playing with the Makita 80-volt demo hammer in an apparent attempt to take the most direct path to visiting us. Looking forward to that.
Does anyone else recognize this Ego hedge trimmer? The boys at Machinery Nation reviewed the new Ego Pro X short reach fixed pole hedge trimmer. Here in the States, Ego calls it the commercial 21-inch short pole hedge trimmer. And while I'm not a commercial landscaper, after watching this video, I know two things. One, the UK has some sweet looking hedges.
Sweet looking.
Sweet. And two, I need more black Ego tools.
Yeah, Ego commercial tools look as good as they work. Makes me actually want to start a landscaping company. Hey, if any of you guys want to do that with me, let me know in the comments.
With your free time, right?
Have you ever wondered why Klein makes so many single-featured voltage meters while at the same time offering their mega feature-packed multimeters? Me too. Turns out Doc over at Last Best Tool wants to know the same thing. So he pitched the question to his viewers. And in return, he got a bunch of really interesting comments that taught me a lot. You should check it out.
Justin over at Bittner Built wanted a cheap battery-powered brad nailer. So he went looking and found not one or two, but 7 battery-powered brad nailers for under $200. In his video this week, he put all 7 through a series of controlled tests to see if any of these cheap tools can actually do the job. And the winner just happens to be the same brad nailer that I personally own, and I am not surprised at all that it won.
Sedge is one of our absolute favorite power tool personalities. He's been the face of Festool for a long time, and for good reason. This guy knows his tools. And this week he decided to take a closer look at a tool we all use just about every time we walk into our shop, the tape measure. He's got examples from Stanley's to Biela FastCap and more. Now, I honestly didn't realize how many different kinds of tapes there are, and Sedge walks us through every one. Before you buy another one, be sure to check in with Sedge first.
Finally, one of our production crew members pointed us to the thoughtful woodworker this week. That's Willie, and this week he reviewed a tool we've never tried before, an electric cement mixer. Now, Rob and I have completed a couple of small concrete projects, and we always did all of the mixing with a cordless mixer, but that big spinning barrel looks way easier.
Yeah, that did look way easier. We just needed like a new concrete project.
I want to make a concrete fire pit.
I'm in.
So we should do that. But first, it's time again for our Platinum Tool Deal from Ohio Power Tool. In honor of DeWALT's new tabless battery / XR rebranding / new tools / headache announcement, this week you can save $50 off any $100 purchase or more of any in-stock DeWALT item on the Ohio Power Tool website.
But remember, the code to save all that money will only work for the first 25 people, so you've got to be fast. The code you need is TS64109. Good luck.
We want to thank SKIL, Ego, TestedHQ, and Ohio Power Tool for continuing to support our show and our community of tool fans.
All right, guys, if you can, do something kind for a stranger this weekend, and you'll catch Sarah and I this Thursday, the 27th, at noon Eastern Time, live from Pipeline in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We'll see you then.